morning, everybody. And now you are joining with NalandaTV Sports Corner. First, let us introduce ourselves. I'm Onat Vindiman.
I'm Pavit Rodrigo.
I'm Gayat Vaidaratna and he is Siran Ratnayaka.
Today, we are going to have a discussion about a very important thing for our life. Can you guess what? Yes, sports. Sports means a very useful thing for our life. It gives us exercises and it helps in our mind fitness and lot of advantages in sports. So there are many sports in the world such as cricket, basketball, tennis, volleyball, netball and very sports. So now Pavit will explain you about a very famous sport in the world. Pavit?
Thank you, Onet. So, as you said, Onet, there are lots of sports in the world.
Yes.
And then I have personally thought I would talk about the sport football. Because, football is a family of team sports that involve to varying degrees. So, the basic thing of football is you kick the ball to the goal to score a point
Yes.
on it. That's right. So, if we talk about the types of football, there are so many types. But I will tell you a few types. So we'll start with basic football, where there are 11 players, like the defense, the center, and the offense players. And then there's a type of football called the Gregorian football, and then American football, also Australian football, or in other words, it's known as footy. So, and rugby is also like a type of football, but in USA they call it just American football. That's like I said before. So, the types of football are referred to a number of traditional, ancient, or prehistoric ball games played by indigenous people in many different parts of the world. Contemporary codes of football can be traced back to the codification of these games at English public schools during the 19th century. Like in these days, all the European countries and America, Canada, and even Sri Lanka have been engaged in football. All the children, like even schools, football is a main sport on it.
Yes, yes.
That's right. So, by the end of the 19th century, an official set of rules have been set for football, like distinct feature codes. And for Gaelic football, as I said before, there are so many rules. So you don't know the rules. That's why after the 19th century, by the FIFA Association, they made the rules of football official. So, by so many types of football and several types of football, football became very famous, and all the people in the world wanted to play football. And mostly, football is famous in England because even though we call England the home of cricket, football is played more there. And there are various codes of football, into two main classes of football, like American football and Canadian football. Even we say those are two names, they're the same. It's like the same set of rules except some small changes in the rules. And the basic, if we talk about the basic rules of football, we just use the foot, because if you use the hand, that's kind of a foul. And then there are the penalties, and there are free kicks, throw-ins, and many more. So if we talk about the origins of football on it, a Chinese game called Suju has been recognized by the FIFA as the first version of the game with regular rules but not official set of rules. It existed during the Han Dynasty. So I'm talking in China, so there are dynasties, and possibly the Qing Dynasty in the 2nd and 3rd centuries before Christ. The Japanese version of Suju is Kemari and was developed during a period called the Asuka period in Japan. This is known to have been played within the Japanese imperial court in Kyoto from about 600 AD. Like, if now Kemari is like, even though we call it football, it's quite different on it.
Okay.
Because, like, people stand in a circle and kick a ball to each other, trying not to let the ball drop to the ground. So it's like a whole different idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So several of the football codes are the most popular team sports in the world. Globally, association football is played by over 250 million players in over 200 nations. Yeah, that's why it's the most famous sport in the world on it. And like it has the highest television audience in sport. Like because like the television audience, because you know, all the people have a knack and tend to watch football always, because people think it's very interesting. And like so that knack made football the most famous sport in the world. Like, if we talk about the football players in America, now it says like more than 10 million football players and nearly 70,000 schools in the USA play football. So like it's like something like, you know, it has from time to time, like from, even though it started as a small sport on it,
Yeah.
like it has increased, like that tend and that knack to watch football, and all the people trying to play football, and like they all of them are trying to, you know, play football, and they want to play video games of football, and like that's like the basic thing in football. So like I'm personally surprised how like as a small sport, how football became like the, you know, it became the most famous sport. So with the annual Super Bowl game accounting for 9 of the top 10 of the most watched broadcast in US television history, Australian rules of football has the highest spectator audience. Like, so like I mean, to emphasize the word, like so many spectators are there. Like it's like so surprised, because food, like for like, now you remember the 2018
Yeah, the
FIFA,
FIFA
World Cup
yes.
in Moscow.
Yeah.
How many people were there to watch
There's a
that match?
huge crowd, no?
Yeah,
Yes.
like even the first match. Like, if it was like the final match, we can like, you know, understand. But then like even the first match, people tend to watch, and like that's like the only thing they want to do. So in Australia, footy is also a different, and like FIFA has like the most spectators. Now, yeah, I emphasize that so much. So now, if we like again to say, the video games of football have been like, you know, there are many tabletop football games and video games such as blow football, button football, and you all must remember in the 19th century the arcade football. You remember in those arcades, you can play football with small joysticks.
Yeah, I remember this.
and like it's very interesting for the people those days. So, and then now the most famous football version, the FIFA and Pro Evolution Soccer or PES. Like all the children in the world and all the high school children, what they're saying these days is, can we play FIFA 18? Can we play FIFA 19? Hey, did you buy PES 2018? So like now that's like a very high topic, and and now I will talk about, well, before that, there is even the Lego company. You know those small bricks? The Lego company, even they have invented PlayStation and Xbox video games
Yeah.
with football. Like now, if you say, there are so many small children who tend to play football games, and there are so many people in the world. And now, like we talked about football, so why don't we talk about a player, one of the most famous player who has done a lot of things for football. So that player is Cristiano Ronaldo. So now, honestly, he's my favorite player, and even Lionel Messi is also a good player. So Cristiano Ronaldo is a Portugal player, is a Portuguese player, and he plays for the Portuguese team. And but private, like for a private team, he plays for Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, yeah.
Real Madrid. And like before he switched to Juventus in 2007,
Yeah.
18,
18, yeah.
18, right on it? Yeah. So before he switched to Juventus, he scored, even I can't believe that, he scored a 311 goals for Real Madrid.
Unbelievable. no?
Yeah, unbelievable. Like in mostly the matches they play, he plays. He's like a hat trick. He has a hat trick, or he has the eight consecutive world record, the Guinness World Record for 8 consecutive goals in a match between Real Madrid and FC Barcelona. Like how many La Liga titles does he have? He has like 5 La Liga titles. Even though 5 is a small number, it's like a La Liga is like one of the best, like other than the FIFA event, La Liga is like the best event in football. And also, if we talk about the Copas del Rey titles, he has 3 of them. And Copas del Rey is not easy to win on it, because you have to work hard and tire, and you have tire, like it's very tiring for Ronaldo. But still, and he's obviously a very he has a good body shape and everything. Like now, that's because he plays a sport, and he plays a good sport, and then he has a good stamina on it. Like the football ground is like 90 meters long, and if you see, it's like the players running from here to there on it. Isn't that right? Yeah, because like
It's 90 minutes now. They have to do the sport now. Yes.
yeah, 90 minutes and 90 meters.
Yes.
So running from one goal to another, kicking, and they have to face the tackles. Like if you say tackles, people tackle them so much. Now I've seen so many red cards and yellow cards. I mean, I know accidents happen in games, but this is like over the line. It has crossed the line in sometimes. Not like every player does this, but now most of the players like want to tackle each other, and some players think it's fun. So that's why. So like Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, and the best defensive player in the world, Modric. Modric is also like very tactical on it, because being defensive is also a very hard thing to do on it, because when a player is going to tackle you and when he's attacking the goal, you have to try to stop him.
Yeah, the goalkeeper. No?
Yeah.
Yes.
The goalkeeper and even the defensive players.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you have seen like the goalkeepers near the goal,
Yeah.
and in front of him 2 defensive players in there. And like Modric has that talent of like having a good defense for the attackers. That's why no one wants to attack Modric, and that's why he became the best defensive player. And now we talked about defensive players, offensive players, and like Lionel Messi or Leo Messi. He's the center. So his talent on it
Yeah.
is that he has to he's an all-rounder. Because he has to know attacking, defending, and sometimes he has to know how to, like be in the center and manage everything. It's like management. So sometimes it's very hard. Not sometimes, it is hard.
Every time.
Every time it's very hard, because always. Because doing like having that and like concentrating on the ball, on the tackles, and concentrating on how we play, like that's a very kind of hard thing to do, because because it's not that easy to continue playing football throughout the ground. And like if I play football, if I haven't exercised, and if I don't have such a stamina to play football, I don't think it'll be enough, guys, right? Because all those players have work hard. So now, since we talked about football and all the players related to football and even the games related to football, I hope that you will take football as you take football or any other sport, and then you will also work hard and succeed in your life. So I mean, I talked a lot, but just to show you now, I will show you some awesome goals about Cristiano Ronaldo, and then we will go for a short break. So remember, stay tuned. So now you're joining back with the Sports Corner live on NalandaTV. So I talked about football, and then all the players related to football and everything. So now on it,
Yeah.
we'll talk about
About hockey.
another famous sport, and you can tell all of them what that famous sport is.
Yeah. Hockey. If we explain hockey in briefly, hockey means putting the ball into
Yeah.
the against team's goal. No,
Yeah.
it's simple. But the scientific and the international truth is, hockey is a sport in which two teams play against each other by trying to maneuver a ball or a puck into the opponent's goal using the hockey stick.
Yeah. So that is the main point. Of
Yes, yeah. But the most there are three types of hockey. There are three types. Those are
So wait, what are the three types now?
yeah.
You're gonna tell about that.
Bandy, field hockey, and ice hockey. Yeah, I know that you have heard field hockey and ice hockey.
Yeah.
Bandy is something new.
So
yeah.
what is? Can you first explain to
Yes.
me what bandy is? Because
Yes,
that's
band-
like kind of something
Yes.
I don't know.
I will tell you in a few minutes. Yeah, before that, let's go to the history of the hockey.
Yeah.
It has a long history.
Yeah, I have heard that in Egypt,
Yeah.
about 4,000 years ago,
Yeah.
there has been something, but I can't remember. Can you tell me that?
In Egypt, 4,000 years ago, all carvings feature teams have played a game very similar to hockey using sticks and a projectile. Okay, and in Ireland, days
Yes.
before 1272 BC, there was a sport called hurling.
Hurley. Yeah, I
And-
remember that on it.
Yeah, hurling, and in Inner Mongolia, and that is the main evidence for the hockey of the history, and it is played with a horn-like stick, and it is named as Heritage.
Yes, it's in Ireland.
No, it's in Inner Mongolia.
In Mongolia.
In Inner Mongolia.
Yes.
And can you remember that I said there were three types?
Yeah, three types. So
yes. And now
please,
I'm
now tell
telling
me
you
that.
about those three types. First thing is bandy.
Bandy. Please,
Yes.
I really want to know what
Yes.
bandy is.
Bandy is played with a ball on a football pitch-sized ice arena. Okay, football pitch.
Yeah. So it's like 90 meters long, as I said before in football.
Football. Yes, you tell about
Yeah.
football now, and it's very similar to the association football rules. Okay.
Oh.
And
So it's like something like football, but played on ice and have sticks and
Yes.
is it a ball or a puck?
is
It's
it a puck?
It's a-
Yes.
Yeah, it's a puck.
And the typically outdoors. It plays outdoors because the ice arenas in outdoors. No.
So wait, bandy and ice hockey are
Yeah,
the
no,
same,
yeah,
or
no,
is it like
no.
two different things?
Those are two games.
Oh,
Okay?
two
But
games.
very similar because the bandy has rules like very similar to the association football.
Association football.
Okay.
Ah,
The
yeah.
ice hockey is similar to the field hockey
Yeah.
rules. The rules are different.
So because of the rules, there's like some difference.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is played professionally in Russia and Sweden. Okay.
Ah.
And the main fact is the Russia is bandy
Is the main sport in Russia?
No, national sport.
National sport. in
National
Russia.
sport in Russia. And the Sweden and Russia only unfortunately the Sweden and Russia only playing
Yeah, so
bandy.
I mean, we should also think about getting that sport to Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Like no, not only Sri Lanka. Like getting that sport to like the whole.
We have to spread it, no?
Yeah, like internationally.
Internationally, yes. But the bandy has its roots in England in 19th century. But now the England don't play bandy.
Yeah.
But England spread the bandy to European countries.
Yes.
The Russia got the bandy that way. The bandy has a world championship also since in 1917.
Yeah, and that is like in Russia normally.
Yes, Russia.
Yeah. Because like as you said, it's only played in Russia and Sweden.
Russia and Sweden.
So like world championship will be like because I think between Sweden and Russia.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes, even
only
though it's a world
those two things,
championship.
no, like a big match.
Yeah, yeah, like big matches.
The second one is the field hockey, and it is played on
Field hockey, the
normal-
basic hockey.
The basic hockey.
Even in our school, like we play field hockey, right?
Yeah.
Because and I think it's made with the steel
Yes,
ball.
a kind of steel.
a kind of
A
steel.
kind of steel, and it is played on gravel, natural grass. But in international tournaments, sometimes they use a sand-based or water-based artificial turfs, and they use a small hard ball that I
Yes.
said you.
Yeah.
It's approximately 73 millimeter in
Yeah,
diameter,
well, it is similar to the leather ball, but
but too harder than it. Yeah.
very hard and yeah, it's hard and it's not that easy to control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this game is popular among both men's and females because
Yeah, I have heard that.
the all among the world now. And the field hockey is in the all around the world.
Yeah, field hockey is like something basic.
Yeah.
Because like that is spread out internationally,
Yes.
But like we have to spread bandy.
Band, yeah. That field hockey sticks. When we go to the field hockey sticks, it has a flat surface on the hitting side.
And on it,
Yeah.
the stick is made of wood, right?
Yes, sometimes it is made of wood, and sometimes it's made in carbon fiber,
Oh.
and sometimes made
Those
in
will be expensive or something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Carbon
obviously
fiber.
carbon fiber rackets are expensive,
Yeah,
guys,
but-
because
Yeah.
even in badminton, there are a lot of carbon fiber rackets.
Yeah, yes, of course. And the other place, the rear side, they have a curved side. The hitting side is flat and the rear side is curved. Okay.
Yes.
And they consider
Yes.
a foul.
I have heard like if you hit from the curved side, it's a
foul goal. Yes.
Yes.
And field hockey is a national
Yeah.
sport of the Pakistan.
Yes.
Okay.
And India, it used to be the
Yes, and it was the national sport of India.
Yes.
But until the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports declared it in 2012 that India has no national sport. Okay. And the third one is ice hockey.
ice hockey. That's like very famous in the United States of America
Yes.
and and
course.
like most in the United States and Canada.
Canada, yeah.
Because it's
The-
all
the
those
snow-falling-
countries.
the snow-falling
are
countries.
close to the North Pole.
Yes. And it was played between two teams. The scientific truth, it was played in two teams of skater on a large flat area of ice using
Yeah.
a 3-inch diameter rubber disc.
Yeah. Because like that's the risk of ice hockey is now the water becomes ice
Yeah.
normally in the months of December in winter no.
Yeah.
But then when if it in the months of February March the ice it's starting to melt.
Yeah.
So when you're playing ice hockey you have to be very careful.
Yes.
Because like in ice hockey and they wear those
The skaters.
the
yeah.
skaters
Yes. I tell you.
so
in
the risk of falling down as well as the risk of the ice melting.
Yes.
It's a like not in winter but when it's like going towards spring and summer.
Yeah.
There's a quite
Yes,
a
you're
very
right.
big risk
Yes.
on it.
Yes. And ice hockey is the fastest game in the world. Do you know that?
Ice hockey is the
Ice
fastest.
hockey is the fastest game in the world.
Because how many minutes?
No, it means that they are moving very fast now.
Yeah.
Because they are on the ice
I
now.
thought it from some other way. Only.
Yes. And the governing body of the ice hockey is the International Ice Hockey Federation.
Yes.
They have, I think,
IHF.
no,
IIHF.
IIF.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have heard because one time when I was reading an article, I saw that was from the IIHF.
Yes.
That some rules were newly declared and
Yeah.
some rules were taken back.
Yes. And the men's ice hockey has been played at the Winter Olympics.
So Onet, as we have ice in Sri Lanka,
Yeah.
so like can we make artificial ice to
Yes,
bring the
there
ice
are-
hockey to our Sri Lanka, the
Yes,
country?
there are some turfs, artificial turfs in indoors, but they are so expensive now. We have to.
But Onit, are you sure we have any? I think we don't have in Sri Lanka.
We don't have any ice hockey turfs in Sri Lanka because we have to.
So we have to
use,
spend
a lot of money.
right?
Yes.
Oh.
And the men's ice hockey has been played at the Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
Because in winter,
Because
there's,
obviously ice hockey is very expensive and it costs so much to make those, because like ice is normally we take it
Yeah.
naturally, but to make it artificial, it would cost a lot of money on it.
And
guys.
in Winter Olympics, it's something different. No, Winter Olympics, there's
Winter
ice
Olympics,
hockey.
yeah.
Because the ice falls in winter, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the
Normally in Winter Olympics on it, all the games related to snow,
Yes.
so like Seran, like those, the sports related to snow is played
Like
in
ice
the
skating,
winter.
ice hockey, yeah.
Ice
Ice
skating,
skating,
and
right.
skiing.
Yes.
Skiing.
Skiing,
Yeah.
you see this, the skiing matches. Now, like normally, annual Olympics come from 4 years to 4 years.
yes.
So you will see because sometimes.
And it's since in 1924 and was in 1920 Summer Olympics also.
Yeah.
I think they have a indoor stadium, no?
artificial
Yeah,
turf.
artificial turf.
Artificial, yeah.
And there are some equipments, no?
Yeah.
The hockey, these are
Because like
these also are
yeah,
very common.
mostly in field hockey on it,
Yes.
like those pads that you wear.
Yes,
If you yeah, sure,
yes.
sure.
These equipments are common and common
Yeah.
to the all three types.
Yes.
Bandy, field hockey, and ice hockey. Those are shoulder pads,
Yeah.
and jock strap.
Shoulder pads, I think you used because like when they flick the ball
Yes,
in the
yes.
air, if it comes to
Yes.
your
Yes, of course, yes.
and
And-
and and,
And
right?
on it, I have seen in some ice hockey games that the ice hockey stadium is like covered with a glass something because
Yeah,
protection
that-
something I guess.
Yeah, the ice hockey stadium is covered with glass because that pick, if there are walls, when they flick the pick, if it goes and knocks on the walls, the flick shatters, it breaks. Because in ice hockey, there's a puck, right?
Pluck, yes.
Pluck.
Yeah.
So it breaks. So that's why we use that. That's why there's the glass because it's like a tempered glass. So like because it's a tempered glass, nothing will happen to the plug.
Yes. And the shoulder pads, the jock strap with cup pocket and protective cup
Yeah.
is to the
Knee.
yeah.
For the knee cup,
yes.
because you know that the knee cup is a
This
very important.
Very
for the-
important thing for our life.
Yeah.
And the hockey stick and puck or ball.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
this is
and
the
like the pads, you told about the
yes,
pads,
yes.
right?
And
Because
this is
because like I have known many players, like I don't have known, I've seen many players who have gotten injured, like a critical injuries, Gayut, because they are because like they try to be very
it's
smart.
very dangerous.
Yeah.
This is the
So on
leg
it,
no?
we use
Yeah.
helmets, right? In ice hockey, we use
No,
helmets, right?
only the goalkeepers. No, in ice hockey,
ice
you
hockey
use
we use
Ice hockey,
helmets,
they,
yeah.
they all have this
Yeah.
leg pad, this
But-
elbow pad.
If you have seen in field hockey, on it, that Gayut, like that goalkeeper in field hockey, like he's like covered with everything.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's
it's
very
so
dangerous,
dangerous.
but that ball
Because
is very
they
hard.
flick it so hard.
Ball is very hard now.
It's even harder than a leather ball.
Leather
Then you
ball,
can
yeah.
imagine how hard it is, right?
Of course. And the hockey is some famous,
Yes.
not much as football.
Yeah.
So we talked about football and hockey.
Yeah.
And
And then Gayut, now I think Gayut, you should talk about basketball.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
as we talked about so much of things
Yeah, because
like
now,
hockey.
like, let's just go to a different field. Why don't you
basketball,
think?
yeah, you see,
Like all those layups,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
professional players,
Yes.
and
Most
everything.
boys like basketball, no?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
and some girls play basketball also.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
Of course.
Say,
Because
Gayo.
like, yeah.
So,
So
is it all right
you can
talking about basketball
You can start
at this
about
time?
basketball.
So yeah, okay. Basketball is a team sport which all two teams are played together. So and commonly 5 players in each team. It is a rectangular court we use and complete with primary objective of shooting a basketball through the defense's hoop basket 18 inches as we
So
mounted
guys,
as
how many players are there in basketball?
a team in a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 players actually.
5 players.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 100%
Yeah,
sure.
sure. Obviously, Pradi won't talk about
Yeah.
that. There's like, and in basketball, you can see that those, all the layups, about the shots.
Yeah.
And have you seen the dunks where the
Yeah,
players?
Dunk, LeBron James, the
Yeah.
world's best player.
Yeah. So like because of that, we can, like it's kind of a very sporty,
Yeah.
like a sporty sport.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what have I tell you about basketball?
So yeah, I have so much of facts to tell you. So a field goal is worth 2 points unless it made a shot behind the 3-point line. So then we get 3 points. So that means there are kind of shooting actions to shoot from 3-point line as behind the 3-point line and from the field goal. After a foul, time play stops and the player foot or designated to shoot a technical foul is given 1 or 2 chances.
So guys, like for a foul, like that's only like when you put a foul.
Yeah.
Like you get 2 shots to
Yeah.
put the goal, and I've seen like the players are like like from here and here, and then like I'm sorry, they like like they get ready, and in the 2-pointer line are there?
Yeah, it's called as the free throw line.
It's the free throw. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't know about basketball that much.
And do you know, Pavit,
Yes.
it gets only 1 point for the foul when we shoot it from the free throw line.
Yeah. So yeah, like normally if you shoot, you get 2 points.
Yeah, but in the
And
free
for
throw
the
line,
3-pointer, you get
3
3
points.
points. And
from the free throw line,
Yeah.
it only gets 1 point.
it only gets 1 point.
So in basketball, the highest governing body is FIBA. That and it was first played at 21st of December in 1891. That means 120 years ago. It's like 120 years ago, Pavit, at Springfield, US.
So 120 years ago. So
It's a big
quite,
yeah.
it's quite an old sport,
Yeah.
right?
We play mixture in the game separately. And Pavit, there are 2 main types of courts, as the indoor court and the outdoor court.
So I know something in the indoor courts. I'm quite sure it's made of a wood floor.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, like all the international NBA games are
Yeah.
played in indoor courts.
Yeah.
And in the outdoor courts, like basic schools.
Yeah, like the floor is made of concrete.
concrete. Yeah, but that is quite. Or don't you think about that?
Yeah.
Because like concrete can have a lot
of damages,
injuries.
injuries. Yeah.
Damages like I've seen even in our school, the older basketball
Yeah.
court, it used to be concrete, and even I fell down playing basketball. So it's I think anywhere you play basketball, it has to I think the wood floor would be definitely
Yeah.
better.
That's so, that's safe.
Yeah.
And,
Continue, Gayut.
and it was demonstrated at the 1904 and 1924 Summer Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So part of Summer Olympic, the program since 1936, and it was Paralympic. Pav, that was Paralympic actually.
What? What,
That
Gayut?
was Paralympic.
I beg your pardon?
Paralympic.
Oh, Paralympic.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, Gayut?
That means like it's so safe to find, and
Ah.
that you get that, yeah.
Yeah, now I get the idea. So like, can you tell me about the shots?
Yeah, and some shots we called as the layup.
Layup.
And-
I've seen people do layups. Like it's like you go to that you go to a certain extent, and then you just flick the ball up, and
Yeah.
it's like you have to be very you have to be very practiced to play a play that isn't that right.
Are
Vinay?
there any rules that they are that bouncing the ball?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
And
You call it dribbling, or
Yes,
Dribbling.
yeah.
Do
dribbling.
you know what I mean by dribbling?
Tell, yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's like this. When we take our ball to our hand, the ball of hands, we can go only 2 steps.
Okay.
If we go more than 2 steps,
Call
it's
it-
foul.
You call it doubling, right?
Yeah, doubling. Yeah, that's
Doubling.
doubling. Yeah. So then it's foul. As I told, what do you do in the foul?
Yeah. So that's the point. And then like the basic thing, there are 4 lines over,
Yeah.
and then if you cross it, what do you call it? You call it a throw in, like in football.
No, actually, it's a pass. We call it a
It's
pass.
All right.
And do you know that, Pavit? In basketball, to where do we have to pass? To either head or knees or what?
Guys, I'm really not sure about that.
Yeah, actually, we call it the chest pass.
A chest pass. It's like from the chest you.
Yeah, we are
it.
charging for the chest.
Yeah. So then, and the head pass, I've heard something like that.
Yeah, that's a bit professional, and that's so hard because most of the time that head pass gets so much of injuries.
Why?
That's-
Why is that, guy?
Because as you know, small kids play basketball, like in our school too.
I know, I get it. Yeah.
And the National Basketball Association, NBA,
Oh,
you know, right?
The most, like in the USA, other than football, it's like the most famous thing.
Significant and professional
Professional-
basketball
yeah.
league in terms of popularity.
And you know that, guys, like one player in Sri Lanka went to NBA.
NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And outside North America, the top clubs from national leagues qualify to continental championships, such as the EuroLeague and FIBA Americas League. The FIBA Basketball World Cup
Yeah.
and Men's Olympic Basketball Tournament are the major international events of the sport and attract top national teams around the world. And each continent hosts regional competitions for teams like Eurobasket and FIBA Cup.
Yeah, and like,
America Cup.
so that's like actual basketball.
Yeah, that's
But like, if you talk about video games,
NBA 2K17, so much of it.
yeah, it's like NBA. Onet, like, have you heard of all the NBA games?
Yeah.
Like, PlayStation and Xbox games.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
basketball games are
Basketball is also similar fame, but football is more famous. But
But-
basketball is a similar fame.
famous
Yeah.
for the as
Yeah.
the football, no? Yes.
Yeah, because like after all the FIFA games and everything were made, NBA 2K, out of NBA 2K 11, 12, 13, 14 and up to 19, it was like it was a big hit, like a big shot in the video game scene, in the video game scenario. So video games, like, I mean, even you play NBA.
Yeah, in a
2K17.
PlayStation.
I also play NBA
Yeah.
2K19. There are a lot of players I know who play, NBA.
Yeah. So, Pavit, as I gave you so much of information about basketball,
Yes.
I think you're here.
So I think you should show all the audience a video.
Yeah, because your earrings may be so tired.
Yeah.
So, can I give a chance to your eyes?
Most famous players videos,
Yeah.
no? Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. Before that, can you talk about the players
The few
Yeah,
players.
and then go over the
Definitely.
video?
Yeah, sure. And do you know that, Pavit, the 2016, the most valuable player?
Yes.
Can you guess that?
Basketball.
I
Stephen
think-
Curry.
Isn't it LeBron
Yeah.
James?
No, that was in 2017-19.
Yeah.
Okay, Gayo. I think we have talked about very, very different sports, and I think it's time to go to a short break and stay tuned with NalandaTV Sports Corner. Okay, welcome back to the NalandaTV Sports Corner. We talked about sports, no? Yes.
Yes, Ronak, we talked about
3 sports:
football,
hockey,
hockey.
and basketball.
Yes.
Now we are going to talk about the importance of them.
Yeah, like how they affect our daily lifestyle and all the things that we do. Like, as I said, we should, how it affects us.
Yes, and I invite Seran to explain us about
Okay.
the importance of these sports.
Thank you, Anit. Yet only we talked about various types of games and how to do them. And now I'm going to say the positive impacts of doing sports. And we can use a simple word for that, like importance of sports. Sports means the games that are done between two participants or more to exceed one another by improving their skills and abilities. There's a well known saying, a sound dwells in a sound body. That means to have a healthy mind, we should have a healthy body. To have a healthy body, we should engage in sports. By doing sports, we improve our physical, mental, social, and also spiritual well being. Doing sports is essential for kids and youths. We can divide sports into two groups as indoor and outdoor games. Indoor means the sports that are done inside the door. That means with a shelter. Outdoor games means the sports that are done outside the door. That means without a shelter. By doing sports, not only we improve our physical fitness, we also improve our mental power. By doing sports like cricket, basketball, football, we improve our physical fitness. By doing sports like chess, Sudoku, Scrabble, we improve our mental power. That means being involved in sports, we improve our physical fitness as well as mental power. Nowadays, it is a serious issue that the parents involve their children only in educational activities. And they also say by engaging in sports, it's only a waste of time and a waste of money. And it's not a doubt. I think by involving in only in educational activities, the children get mental stress and reduces physical fitness. Like I said earlier, to engage in educational activities, we should have a healthy mind. To have a healthy mind, we should engage in sports.
It's very important.
Yes. Not only these things, but also by engaging in sports, we improve our personalities and can be avoided by causing of diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes and obesity. Hope after listening to our valuable information, you will engage in sports and games. Onet?
Yes, thank you, Shahan. And he explained us that
importance
importance of sports.
Like for example, to be healthy, we have to engage in a sport on it. Isn't that right? Because
Now,
like
as we are the school children, now,
as we are school children,
yes, we have to keep our mental fitness and the physical
and
fitness.
also physical fitness.
Yes.
Or we won't have a good personality on it.
Yes, yes. Of
Anywhere
course.
we go, now if we go for international games, if you don't have a good personality and a good, healthy body,
It's not for the games. It's
Yeah.
in our when we go to a
anywhere,
job.
for a job,
Yes.
for a job, guy, anywhere we go, they take care of our personality. They looked
That-
at our
yes.
personality.
The
And-
sports,
yeah.
the sports gives us those things for our life, and
And he
this
said about the two types of the sports:
Yes.
outdoor sports and indoor sports.
indoor sports. Yes, the sports can divide into groups.
Yeah,
no?
but the main two groups.
But the
on
main
it
two
are
groups are indoor games and outdoor games.
Outdoor games, yes. And today we talked about three sports and importance of them and how we can use them in our life. And I think you got something from our this sports corner program, and I think you can use them in your lives. What we tell you, explain you here, and I have to tell this our spectators. Use your use your that's this what we said in here, not only in your sports and in your this.
in your day-to-day life. So this is like a message to all of you. So engage in sports and have a. So you have to lead a healthy life, because all the small children in the world have a very big future, and like they have to lead a healthy life to carry on
Yes,
with their
yes.
life, and like that's the like sports, their physical fitness, their mental fitness. That's like one of the most important things
Yes.
in anyone's daily life. So,
So
yeah,
yes,
on it,
and I think
we
it's
will success in
yes,
life.
you have to success. Yeah, you can success in your sports, your lives, and your those all the things in your life. You can success if you do a sport, and if you yes, if you do a sport, and you can use them in your lives, as we said.
Yes.
So you, I think it's good, no?
Yeah.
Yes. It's I
It's
think
very
yes, important. So it's all
And
right.
like I hope that all of you got to know about the important sports such as like football. It's very famous, and
Yes.
as I said before. So
Yes.
Ned, continue.
And stay tuned with Nalanda TV. We have more enjoyable programs for you, and so you
Rule
Rule
the
the
sports
sports
world.
world.